New Sprint Ride Option podcast. There's been a decision on Trent Williams. That decision is no decision. We'll be talking free agency and some light draft talk as we're about a month away from the NFL draft. New Sprint Ride Option podcast starts now.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it. Let's go Niners.
Let's go Niners. Sprint Ride Option podcast. Oh my goodness, we are live. It is a new edition of the Sprint Ride Option podcast. I am Andrew Pasquini, joined as always by the incomparable, the beautiful Jason Aponte. And Jason, I hope it's not as hot as it is out here for you right now. How's your Friday going?
Oh my God, you guys are in like 90 degrees and we're at 60 over here and we're just really happy. Look, 90 degrees in Cali just means two things. Hoochie Daddy shorts and basketball jerseys with nothing under it. Like, I mean, I look, it's March 20th. 60 degrees is a miracle. It has literally been snowstorming over here. I will not complain about 80, 90 degrees. I know that you Cali people have a different take on it, though.
The fact it's March 20th and it's 90 degrees makes me very nervous for June, July, August when it actually gets hot. Last summer, we caught a break. It wasn't too bad the entire summer. This year, I have a feeling they are going to that the heat's going to get us, and that's not great. I'm already sweating. It's March. I got softball tonight, so I'm just dreading the heat right now. Thank you, LT Sample, Jack Even Boys, Rob Louder, keeping the old Xbox Live name alive. LOL, we appreciate it. Hey, we're back. It is a new Sprint Ride Option podcast.
Hell yeah, Rob. Thank you for joining, man.
I'm Andrew Pasquini, Jason Aponte, as always. Listen, we have some news today. We were expecting maybe different news with Trent Williams today. There was a presumed deadline. There was a deadline, not even presumed. There was a deadline for Trent Williams' contract. We were expecting some sort of decision. However, the decision is not a decision, as Adam Schefter threw out a tweet earlier today. With today's 4 p.m. Eastern time deadline looming, the 49ers are opting not to exercise the $10 million option bonus in Trent Williams' contract, per sources. Williams' salary cap number will now grow to close to $47 million, which, boy, oh boy, that's a lot of money. But the team is not overly concerned about it and is still planning to rework his contract before next month's NFL draft. Listen, Trent Williams is going to be a Niner in 2026. I don't think he's getting traded. I am not thrilled for another contract negotiations featuring the San Francisco 49ers and a player they probably need to pay earlier rather than later. Niners have the cap room to do this as well, so this isn't a huge deal. I still don't fully understand. They were randomly given $20 million in cap space a couple weeks ago because somebody messed something up. I wish I got $20 million in money because somebody messed something up, which was that easy. And then I believe they freed up something like $25 million restructuring Nick Bosa's contract. So this isn't a cap space issue. Trent Williams will be a Niner. It just comes down to how annoyed do you want to be for another month of Trent Williams conversation at least?
You know, Trent Williams conversations don't annoy me, and I think this is why I'm going to explain it to you, Andrew. Trent Williams is so funny and such a smart businessman because he knows a few things. One, I'm the best there ever was, the best there ever will be. I'm still really good. You have no backup plan. Without me, you have no shot at the playoffs. And he's smart because, look, I don't understand why football fans feel so slighted by the business of football, right? People are so offended by Brandon Ayuk like he did something he didn't shit in your kitty litter and leave. Right? That's not your business. That's not your business. He's talking to the 49ers. That's their business. So when Trent Williams wants extra money from the San Francisco 49ers because he's really good at football, I don't fucking care. I really don't. Just get it done. It will get done. But he absolutely knows what he's doing. His camp is in the business of understanding that there is nobody that's better than me that's behind. Look at it like this, Andrew. Let's just say in a world the San Francisco 49ers decide, we're done with this, we're going to draft the left tackle, and we're going to start him year one. Okay, that's a fair way to look at it. You're going to have a team that's going to have to send multiple draft picks. They're going to have to pick up that contract. they're going to have to pay Trent Williams, who's at the end of his time. But is that guy going to be Trent Williams?
No.
Like, do you guys understand that the 49ers did the impossible twice? They drafted a Hall of Famer left tackle, and then when he retired, they traded for the greatest of all time. So let's look at it this way, Andrew. Williams is the best, no one's better. Yes. But you draft a left tackle who's fine. Is fine what you're looking for right now in a season where you're loading up with Mike Evans and all these guys and you feel like you want to make another run at this? No. Mm-hmm. So Trent Williams is very smart. Very smart. And I respect his business acumen because, again, Andrew, this is a players positive podcast.
Yes.
When this league, I didn't even think of that. When this league is done with you, they don't care about you.
Yeah.
And they're going to send you away. But when you've got this league in a vice grip because you're that good, keep going. So keep going, Trent. He'll be fine. He's going to be the starting left tackle week 1 in Australia. I'm not tripping. But I do think that this is hilarious. And I do think that the fact that Adam Schefter is by far the biggest agent shill in the history of the NFL. And everybody's like, oh, did Schefter say it? He's saying what the... Did you see the bullshit tweet about
26 teams are interested.
26 teams are interested in Christian Wilkins, and they have no idea what the fuck is going on. Did he tongue kiss somebody in the locker room? Did he fucking step on somebody's toe? Is his knee messed up? You gotta be kidding me, man. So when you people are like, oh, who's the source? Is it Schefter? Schefter's reading a tweet or a text from an agent. Get the fuck out of here with all that, bro. Christian Wilkins has 26 teams in the NFL that are looking at him. They don't even know what the fuck is going on. We don't even know what the story is. How are they involved with that? You liar. Sorry, go ahead, Andrew. You fucking liar.
Hey man, are those 26 teams aware that he was available all of last season?
And what happened to his knee? Did his knee get shredded up to the point where he couldn't play last year? You gotta be kidding me, man. There is something going on with Christian Wilkins that will never be explained. That's insane.
I had to read that tweet like 3 times to fully understand that Schefter was saying 26 teams.
26 teams? And you know what? Of the 26 teams, the Niners are not one of them.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. I listen, like I don't even think you can name a single player in the league and be like, yeah, 26 teams are interested. Because like, I don't know, Josh Allen, but like there's 6 teams that are probably comfortable enough with their quarterback to be like, nah, we're good. We're good on Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact
more than 6, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like the fact that 26 teams are interested in a player that hasn't played in a year is very silly to me. But let's bring it back to Trent Williams. Trent Williams, what he recognizes too is the situation the Niners have found themselves in as well. And it'd be one thing if Trent Williams took an obvious regression last season, right? He did not. He did not. Sure, there was some wonky games here and there, but overall,
Andrew,
he's still one of the best left tackles in the league.
One more thing.
Yes.
He went to every single day of training camp last year.
Yes.
Keep going.
Yeah, so he recognizes what's going on. He knows he still has the talent. And then if he goes to ESPN.com and pulls up the 49ers depth chart as of this second and sees Vidarian Lowe, Austin
Pleasance, baby,
listed behind him. And again, like I see people saying, well, they need to draft a left tackle in the first round. The issue is you're not getting a good left tackle at 27. All the good left tackles are going to be gone by the top 10, right? Like whoever that may be. Trent Williams recognizes this. There is no, dare I say, there is no Trent Williams to replace Joe Staley here. It's not like there's a left tackle.
What's the upgrade?
What would be the equivalent? Like Laramie Tunsil? Like would that be the equivalent to?
Would it be Penei Sewell?
Would it be Penei Sewell? And the Commanders aren't trading Laramie Tunsil because they just signed him an extension.
Look,
Penei Sewell's not getting moved, right? So. What are the Niners going to do if Trent Williams doesn't show up? Nothing. They have no option. So Trent Williams knows what's going on. He's smart enough.
The only thing I'll say is this, is the Niners are cowardice and they won't move on from Trent. The only other option that I could see at left tackle that they could bring in right away that would step in and be fine is Taylor Decker from Detroit. And he's a free agent, but he's on the whatever side of it. Again, there's no upgrade to Trent Williams.
No.
Like, there's nobody out there that's going to be better than Trent. None. Not a shot.
And it's not only there's no upgrade because there isn't. There's nobody out there, like even Taylor Decker, where you're like, oh yeah, like I feel solid with that as a replacement. Because if you take Trent Williams out of this offensive line, you do not feel very good about this offensive line. And I know a lot of people don't feel good about this offensive line as it is, but I could go look at that left tackle. There's that guy, Joe Bitonio, if we want to be honest. But Niners.
Oh my God, Andrew, thank you. Finally, yeah. I'm tired of everybody crying about like drafting a left guard in the draft, and we'll talk about the draft in a little bit because I dropped the mock draft, and everyone was like, "Why are you not taking a guard?" Because I would sign Joel Bitonio right off the rip right now, 1-year deal, put him in left guard, and then go back next year in the draft. Like, y'all got to start listening. Y'all have to start paying attention.
Yeah, I think the left guard spot, I don't think you're drafting anybody to plug and play as a starter right away. Like people can look at the comparison of like Dominic Puny, how he stepped in as a middle round guard, but that took a Spencer Burford injury for him to even get snaps in the preseason and get that recognition. So like it wasn't like Puny was drafted as that guy, as the guy to step in. He needed. The Niners are going to go with a short-term option, and who knows, that short-term option might be there. I mean, they signed Brett Toth. You want Toth talk on?
He's probably the left guard that starts because Ben Barch can't play or whatever. And Anthony, channel member, appreciate you. Hashtag Team Connor Colby. By the way, shout out to you and we're sciatica bros.
Did Barch sign somewhere? Yeah. Oh no, he hosted with the Lions. So I apologize. So Barch is still out there. If the Niners want to go that route again, but yeah, no. Listen, this is a situation where the only stress there is with the Trent Williams situation is how much you can handle Trent Williams conversation. We've done this song and dance. I know Schefter mentioned that they want to try and get something done before the draft, which probably means they're going to get something done in the middle of July. That's just how the Niners work. But until then, like I guess today was really the last day you could stress of a potential Trent Williams trade, because now I don't think anybody's going to take a $47 million cap hit to take a 38-year-old
and pay him. Don't even want to him and give up draft picks. No.
So right now, the Trent Williams story, let's kind of tuck it away until the extension is signed or whatever it may be. But he's going to be a Niner in 2026, one way or another. We'll see what that cap number looks like. But again, the cap number isn't too stressful right now because I think I saw somewhere the Niners still have like $20 million in cap space or something like that, even with the Trent Williams thing.
Depends on who you ask.
The cap, man. I love cap talk because it's
I love going through the timeline, Andrew. I love going through the timeline and someone's like, the Niners have $9 million in cap space. And then Spotrac will post $28.9 million. And I'm just like, one of you idiots has no idea what you're talking about, which is why I stay far away from this conversation about cap space and what dead cap means and void years and kicking the can down the road, because the Rams are in cap hell. They just fucking traded for Trent McDuffie and fucking Jalen Watson and just added to a team that already had Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua and Matthew Stafford. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, you guys, it's okay to say I don't understand the cap, because I don't understand salary cap. I understand cap, like lying. I don't understand salary cap. It's not the same thing at all.
The only person I trust with my Niner cap space is at 49ers cap, Jason Hurley.
Hell yeah, Jason.
And that's because he has the Niners cap space number in his name. And he just tweeted 4 hours ago, updated cap room, $28.9 million after the 49ers declined Trent Williams option bonus. So there we go. I'm gonna go 28.9, which I think is enough money to go get you, I don't know, another Bosa, maybe another player that can help the team right now.
Trade for Jesse Bates. The Falcons are trading for safeties. They traded for Sidney Brown. Jesse Bates.
This might lean into the draft conversation a little earlier. We'll go through free agency. I'm not convinced the Niners think safety is a need right now.
That's ridiculous.
I'm not convinced. I don't know why. I feel like there was spots they could have made moves at any point in this offseason. A few names come to mind that have signed other places. We'll see, obviously, but I'm not convinced that the Niners think that safety is an issue.
Stovey says it's time to move on from Trent. Dude keeps asking for more money every other year. Listen, man, if I had a 9-to-5 cubicle job and I was the fucking best in the world, I'm going to my boss every single year. And I'm like, I need a raise, bro. And if you don't, I'll go somewhere else because someone will pay me because I am the best. Let's not get it fucked up in any way. Trent Williams is the greatest ever to play left tackle. The greatest.
Yep.
38 years old, still that good. The greatest. Some people have said immediately that he's the best football player they've ever seen. He's chased down fucking safeties on interceptions. Trent Williams is a fucking unicorn. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain that. And it's not debatable, Gojira. It's not there is no left tackle. None. Not even in a game of football today that is under the age. Like, he's 38. Not today, not tomorrow, not any Sunday, ever. Trent's the best. So I will, every single year, while I'm the best, go to, especially in a sport where, like, again, the NFL does not care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. Remember, it's a result business. When I'm better than whatever it is that you have, and you haven't made a succession plan for me, I'm going to use that to my advantage over and over. There we go. We could put the Trent stuff to bed if you want, Andrew.
Yeah, let's put it to bed because Niners have made some moves this offseason. We're just going to kind of run through them all and all that stuff. Kawhi Chipto, if I mispronounced that, I apologize. That's probably
Star Wars
contract, so he's going to get. Hey, man, my Star Wars knowledge is the Family Guy episodes, my guy.
That's fine. That's fine.
I haven't watched a ton of movies.
That's not
let's talk about the 49ers free agency moves. Let's start with the big one. I mean, there's a couple big ones. It depends how you look at it, but let's start with the biggest one. Mike Evans, wide receiver, 3-year deal, $60.4 million. But if you want to break it down, it's essentially a 1-year, $16 million deal. Took less money to come to San Francisco instead of playing for Tampa Bay another year, which, boy. Do you think the Buccaneers regret the Todd Bowles hiring?
Hell yeah!
At any point,
I mean, and then keeping him. Like, if you would have moved on and got another head coach, maybe Mike would have understood that. And Mr. Never Miss, real quick, to just go back to the Trent thing. Trent is the only other player besides Tom Brady to have 2 Hall of Fame careers within one. Go,
yeah,
go,
yeah. But Mike Evans, very good move. I think I feel like. I knew the Niners were interested in Mike Evans. I was still surprised it happened. You don't typically see the Niners go out and get big name receivers like this in free agency. I mean, because Anquan Bolden, that was a trade, I believe, right?
Anquan, yes. Remember they won the Super Bowl and they sent us Anquan and they were like, here. So the 49ers in back-to-back years, real quick, Andrew. The Giants were the Super Bowl champions the year before. Right, for the Kyle Williams game, Mario Manningham came over from the Giants because we're like, oh, we need the sauce, and the 49ers didn't win the Super Bowl, and then they lose the Super Bowl to the Ravens, and then they send over Anquan Bolden. Harbaugh was like, look, man, I got you, bro. Like, here you go. So it's kind of funny how the 49ers try to steal the sauce from teams that beat them and won the Super Bowl.
Is this the biggest name receiver the Niners have signed via free agency since Randy Moss? And I know that was like a 30-something-year-old.
No, and it's ahead of Moss. It's ahead of Moss because Moss, remember, he had to unretire to come back. He unretired.
Yeah, I'm just talking name value because Emmanuel Sanders, that was a trade.
No, it's Mike.
Ayuk and Debo obviously drafted. But yeah, so Mike Evans and Mike Evans, the theory of Mike Evans, because I'm sure we'll talk about the 33-year-old, the hamstrings, whatever you want to talk about. But in theory, he does 2 things for you. He gets you a number 1 receiver that you were so desperately missing last season. Mm-hmm. And he's a pretty goddamn good replacement for Juwan Jennings because Juwan Jennings is still out there. And it's very interesting that I don't think he has the interest he thought he was going to have.
He overpriced himself.
It is what it is, but Mike Evans, I feel like if you had to pick kind of the ideal receiver the Niners could have gotten, unless you want to throw out, the idea of that fun Justin Jefferson trade, which was never going to happen, but was really fun to think about because like the idea of Justin Jefferson, I think Mike Evans was the best available option for the Niners to bring in just for what they do. And I mean, I my first thought when I saw the news, Brock Purdy's like, I'm going to throw so many goddamn 50-50 balls to that motherfucker. Like he must be so excited.
He's Mike Evans down there somewhere.
Yeah. And so listen, as I said, number 1 receiver replaces Juwan Jennings, gives you a guy who can have 1,000 yards in a receiving season, maybe even double-digit touchdowns, which the Niners have not had in a long time. Jason, I know it's been a couple of weeks, but what were your first thoughts with the Mike Evans signing?
I'm so happy. I begged the 49ers to sign my favorite players in the NFL right? Like how long do we bang the table? Like I just wanted Julio Jones to be in a 49ers uniform. One of my favorite players is now on the San Francisco 49ers. My favorite football players, and I want to go through this real quick. Jerry Rice was my favorite football player when I started watching football. Terrell Owens took his spot. So my favorite football players played for the San Francisco 49ers. When both those guys left, I was left with my favorite 49er and my favorite NFL player. Now, my favorite NFL player today is Justin Jefferson. My favorite 49er is Fred Warner. My favorite NFL player that I couldn't believe, having Mike Evans on this team means that one of my favorite receivers, the guy who I have been literally fighting with people in barbershops, on Twitter, anywhere, that was the most underrated wide receiver in the history of football. And when you start doing things that Jerry Rice has never done, can we start talking about something that's a little bit different?
Yeah.
So Mike Evans jersey, shout out to Dr. Narav Panja, happy belated birthday. Jersey in the cart. I can't believe it. If it's 1 year, I'm fine, man. I am fine. Yeah. But you, Andrew, you nailed it, man. You nailed it. This is why you nailed it. Not only is he an X, but he's better than Juwan Jennings at 33. Mm-hmm. So everything that you want in the red zone or you want on third down, he's better. He's better. And he's better down the field. You know what's another thing, Andrew? Mike Evans can play X. He can play F. He can play Z. The good news is he's not pigeonholed into any of those spots. And Kyle Shanahan's going to have a blast throwing mismatches at you with Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, and Christian Kirk. Godspeed. Godspeed. Seriously, I'm not even trying to hype this team up, but the way that you're putting the skill sets together, if these guys can stay together and play, Mike could be an F, Ricky could be an X, Christian could be a Z. You can flip all those guys around. Good luck. Mike Evans is absolutely on a 1-year deal, and absolutely fine deal. I'm very happy, and I am not biased in any way because he's one of my favorite players and probably the most underrated receiver. Him and Keenan Allen, I feel like, are the two most underrated receivers in the history of the NFL. But I'm happy, Andrew. This free agency period. I'm excited. I'm really happy, man. This is going to be perfect.
Yeah, no, and the theme is with this free agency class is it's looking good if they stay healthy, and I think that's going to be a conversation for a lot of these guys. Mike Evans obviously has the hamstring issue, 33 years old. We haven't seen, I looked it up when the signing happened a couple weeks ago, Jason. The Niners haven't had a receiver take a snap for them over the age of 33 since Anquan Bolden. So like that's how long it's been that the Niners have had a guy this long in the tooth play for them. But he's still effective. He probably could have had 1,000 yards last season had it not been for a collarbone injury. And that it is what it is. I'm more worried about the hamstrings. But it's not like the hamstrings have limited him much, right? Because outside of last year, I think the most games he's missed since 2019 is 3. And I mean,
people miss that part.
If you look at the 49ers receiving room, like missing 3 games is basically a full season at this point.
Kittle misses 3 every year.
Yeah, so like it is what it is. Hopefully he can stay healthy. But if he does, this adds something to the 49ers offense, and that's all you can really ask for, because last year it was basically Christian McCaffrey and hopefully somebody else picks him some slack elsewhere. Now you have a guy who week in and week out can be as impactful in the passing game as Christian McCaffrey is as a whole. And that's what the Niners were desperately missing. That was what they were missing the most with Brandon Ayuk last season.
If Mike Evans ends up with 750 yards and 9 touchdowns, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I feel great. Here's the thing. And this Mike Evans signing kind of throws water on a fire that people have been throwing out there over some dumb shit. Nobody wants to come to San Francisco, the substation. He took less money to come here.
Yep.
Do you feel fucking stupid now? Because you should. You really should. Christian Kirk took 1 year, $6 million. He didn't give a fuck about the substation. George Kittle talked on the podcast, the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, and said Mike Evans didn't ask him once about that shit. Do you all feel stupid now? Do you all feel dumb? because you knew that shit was it never had any valid. Like it was never valid. And now Mike Evans chose to take less money to play with Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin and Emeka Ibuka, and he came over here because he said, I'm the missing piece. So what I want this Mike Evans thing to do is shut people the fuck up about people not coming over here anymore and not wanting to come over here. The substation thing is not real. You are a child. Let's use your brain if you have one. Because if you thought that was going to be the reason that Christian Kirk didn't sign for 1 year, $6 million, if you thought that was the reason that Mike Evans was going to take less money to play with Brock Purdy and play in a Kyle Shanahan offense, you are brain dead. You're just brain dead. That's it. Look, I don't want to be an asshole to the people that watch our show, and I'm glad that you're tuned in. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, all that shit. But if you believed that some fucking magical substation was going to stop people from coming to the 49ers team, you are dumb. You're just dumb. That's it. And I'm done, Andrew. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the funniest domino to fall with the substation would be if the other Bosa signs here, because if there's anybody who actually would believe in it, it would be them. And hey, it is what it is. So we'll see what happens there, because the Niners do need another pass rusher. But hey, that's a conversation for another day. Mike Evans is here, another guy. I don't know if you've heard this name, player who signed with the 49ers on 1 year, $7.5 million. Some like small time linebacker named Dre Greenlaw.
Wow.
Listen, man, that first 15-yard on Sportsmanlike is going to hit like
Andrew. I cannot wait for week 7 when he starts his first game and he fucking lays somebody out into the fucking second row and gets like one of his no, look, all right, look. We've got to be frank here, Andrew. All right, I'll be Frank, you be Andrew.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. This podcast has been one of the ones who has criticized Dre Greenlaw more than others. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
We are more pro Azeez Al-Shaair. How about that?
Look, and So Gray's week 7 when he starts his first game. Appreciate it. Like, thank you for the joke. Like, look, I'm joking, obviously. I'm joking. Azeez Al-Shaair is 10 times the linebacker that Dre Greenlaw is. Yeah. Full stop. Full stop. And you know what? Today, on March 20th, is the day that Andrew Pasquini and I can take our victory lap. Azeez Al-Shaair is a Mike linebacker for the best defense in the NFL, a Pro Bowler. Mm-hmm. Dre Greenlaw is bouncing around on 1 year deals to be a will to whoever will allow him. Mm-hmm. It was never a debate when it happened. When the 49ers had Fred, Azeez, and Dre, I don't want to get.
It's just so silly how good they were at linebacker, man.
I don't want to get too deep in the woods here about hyperbole, but goddamn, man, name me a better linebacker trio. Name them. Yeah. Name them. Who? When? Azeez was the third linebacker. When? The 49ers are linebacker Valhalla, right? And Dre Greenlaw is very smart for coming back here. 100%. 100%. If he plays the entire season, that 1 year deal is going to look like a fucking steal. And he'll be able to get back to free agency and go again. I just wonder what's going on in Denver. They signed him to a 3 year deal, and they were just like, after the first year, they were like, nah. So 2 things I'm going to bring up, Andrew, and I want you to understand this. Or I want you to respond to this. Dre Greenlaw talked about how Sean Payton runs far harder practices than Kyle Shanahan ever did. He never gave them a day off. Okay? So for you, Kyle Shanahan practice people, okay. And he said the defensive playbook was like reading Chinese. He said these things out of his mouth. I wonder how much of that has to do, because we watched that AFC Championship game, and yeah, it was hard to watch because there was a bunch of snow, and, you know, Drake May is not that guy, and the Patriots, whatever. Drake Greenlaw was incredible in that game. Mm-hmm. He ended up with a fucking 90.5 run defense grade. I don't even know how that's possible. I mean, I guess I know how it's possible when it's in the snow. Look, I'm happy that he's here, but you know what? What I'll give is this. If Dre's down, D. Winters is fine to step in. If Dre's up and D. Winters doesn't have to play, I'm fine either way. So look, this was just a fine, like low risk, high reward deal. Go ahead, Andrew. I'm sorry. I was tripping.
Yeah, no, and it's an upgrade over what they had at linebacker if he can stay on the field. He's only played 10 games since the injury happened in the Super Bowl. We don't need to rehash that. But he's an upgrade, and he makes the Niners defense better. We know exactly what he can be if he's healthy. We know he's going to work with Fred Warner. There is no mystery with it. That's what I'm excited for, right? Because we know how good he is. Yes, we prefer his Z's, but Dre has his talents. We really like him. We think he can be good. It's just, can he stay on the field? And that's going to be the big question. And that was my big nervousness. That Nick Martin trade should hit like crack. I don't know what's going on with Nick Martin at this point.
Is he even cleared?
Yeah, the concussion thing concerns me. That's beyond really anything I can comprehend. But him missing as many games with concussion as he did last year, we'll see what's going on with Nick Martin.
But they were saying it before the Seattle game. Like, we're waiting on him. They were like, he's still not cleared. I'm like, Jesus, dude, it's been like 10 weeks. Like, I pray for your health, but sheesh.
But Niners defense improves with the Dre Greenlaw signing. That's 100% for sure. And that's all you can really look for a defense that wasn't very good last season. But the other spot the Niners improved was the defensive line. If you thought we loved Sammy O, wait till you hear about Osa Odigizua. I butchered that. I have the pronunciation.
You're gonna be the one who says his last name on this pod. You're gonna be. Listen, I just learned how to spell use check when I write. I am not about to learn another crazy name like that or whatever. I will Google that and I will copy and paste it for the rest of the time that I work for Niners Nation.
Odigizua. There we go.
Cool.
You got Bosa, Osa, Sammy O, Osa O. You could have Bosa, and Osa.
I love it.
There's a lot of rhyming. There's a lot of things going on. But dare I say, Jason, the Niners might have found the Forrest Buckner they've been looking for since they traded to Forrest Buckner. Javon Kinlaw didn't work out. Javon Hargrave didn't work out. Maybe the 49ers realized the name Javon wasn't working. So they just go way out of left field with Osa Odigizua. I'm going to get it there. Use check.
Keep going, Andrew. You got it. I'm just going to keep calling him Osa.
You ready for this? For the use check thing? Because this is what I learned from Kristen use check. It's JUS. Zebra cat, zebra yellow kitten.
Yep. That's how I figured it out.
That's how you got to do it. But Niners desperately need pass rushing. I don't know if you heard this, but last year they had 20 sacks. The only team to have fewer sacks than Myles Garrett last season were the San Francisco 49ers. Osa's going to give you that. And I know we can't use the branding anymore because Bob Sala is out in Tennessee now. But you got 3/4 of the NASCAR package set up now with Osa, with Mikel in the middle with him because he's going to be healthy by the time, and Nick Bosa. Now you got to go find that other pass rusher on the edge. Bryce Huff retires, whatever's going on.
Ridiculous. I mean, what is up with this team?
Comes out of nowhere, but that's okay. I think, I like the idea of Bryce Huff. I wish he kind of performed a little better when he was the guy, when he was pass rusher one. But now the Niners may have to get a little creative with that. Joey Bosa exists out there if you want to go that route. 27, there's a lot of good pass rushers out there in this draft. Maybe they go 27.
Depends.
Maybe they move up a little bit to get one. But they're going to have to find somebody. But I dare I say, with the threesome of Mikel Williams, Osa O, and Nick Bosa, I feel more comfortable with that pass rush as a duo than I did at any point with any quad of the 49ers pass rush last season. So it's an upgrade. He's a younger guy, 27 years old. He'll be 28 by the time the season comes around. Only a 3rd round pick, which is perfect. I don't know what that means for business for Dallas, considering they drafted him in the 3rd round, and he's somebody who has produced for them. He had 3.5 sacks last season, career high of 4.5 in 2024. He's an average run stopper, but that's why you go get a guy like Dre Greenlaw, right? That had to help out with that.
And the linebackers should help on the back end.
What was your thoughts on the Osa trade?
I love it. I mean, I think that this team is understanding what the fuck is going on here, and there is an arms race going on right now in the NFC West. When you look at the Los Angeles Rams didn't win a Super Bowl because they don't have special teams and they don't have secondary. So what did they do? They went out there and they fucking traded for Trent McDuffie, inked him, and they traded for Watson. By the way, I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are smarter than everyone, and they're leading on because whenever they draft secondary, they let that guy walk. Charvarius Ward, Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie, and they go and they draft another guy who's really good. So the Chiefs I got to give them credit. But the 49ers realized what's going on. The gap between them and the Rams and the Seahawks, that shit is getting farther and farther as long as you let it go. Seattle's coming back to earth a little bit. They lost Boye Mafe. They lost Reek Welling. You know, they feel good about the guys that they have. They're going to be formidable, 100%. The Rams are looking like they want to go. They want to have a Super Bowl party in their own stadium. And Becky G is going to be the Super Bowl halftime show, which, fingers crossed. You know, Kendrick, Bad Bunny, Karol G, we're good. Andrew, when you get some time by yourself, just go ahead and check out Karol G's music. I think
you mean Latina Forever? Yeah. I'm
familiar,
Jason Aponte.
Hey, look, Andrew, I was not familiar with your game. I'm very happy
familiar with that work.
Perfect. But the 49ers have to do the same thing, and they have to keep up. And you get a guy who's 27 years old. He's under contract. He's a pass rusher, right? With the Javon Hargrave thing, that felt like they were just like, you know, there's plenty of times where Kyle Shanahan is in love with the player, right? From facing him over and over. And we've got this info from former 49ers players, by the way. It's not a source. And you know what? Don't believe me. Here's how I'm going to give you the proof. This 49ers player let us know that in that Super Bowl against the Chiefs, Kyle Shanahan was glazing Charvarius Ward. In 2020, when the San Francisco 49ers were about to play the New York Jets on, you know, back-to-back weeks in MetLife, remember? He was glazing Sam Darnold. The next week, when he was playing the Philadelphia Eagles, he was glazing Javon Hargrave. All those guys got signed day one. So when Kyle likes the guy, he likes the guy. So I just want to make sure we put that out there. But this Osa move it doesn't feel like a Kyle move in any way. It just feels like this team is moving in a different direction when it comes to like, hey, we've got to make sure that this team has a pass rushing defensive tackle, because we don't believe we have it with Collins, with West, with who else? Who the hell else? He'll be back. It's the same like four guys that like, we didn't extend this guy, and everybody's like, oh my god, he's walking, and he'll just come right back. It's the one guy. I want to say Ronnie Blair, but like some bullshit like that, like some player like that, like I think.
Oh, I know who you're talking. I have the depth chart up right now. I could look at it actually. Evan Anderson.
No, Evan Anderson's back. He'll play or whatever, right? It was the one guy that they were Kevin Givens.
Oh yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Yeah, everyone was like, crying, like, oh my god, Kevin Givens, he'll be back. Relax, man. There's no like, and
Kevin Givens feels like the new Dante Johnson.
Yeah, Kevin Givens, Evan Anderson, Sammy O, like these guys are gonna be around. Like, don't trip. Like we're not. But the problem is that Seattle has shown that you don't need necessarily a high level of pass rushers. You need just enough pass rushers that you can continue to run them over and over and not have to worry about, tendencies or being tired or anything like that. There's never a time where someone's like, you have too many edge rushers, you have too many pass rushers. When has it ever been said? And that leads into the draft, Andrew.
Mm-hmm. I like it. Yeah, no, it was needed, and it's an established guy, and that's what I like about it. It's somebody who I think is going to help right away, and the Niners needed that. Another player Niners signed to the defense, and I'm a little more curious about what they're going to do with this one. Nate Hobbs, cornerback, coming from Green Bay. I think there's a few places you could work with him, right? He could play outside, inside. He could maybe be a hybrid safety. Bernardo Green's spot on this team feels like it's up in the air. Maybe Nate Hobbs steps in there. I really like Upton Stout. I don't know how I feel about him stepping in for Upton Stout. I'm a big Stout guy.
I think Stout's fine.
But I think what I like about Hobbs is it gives you versatility. Just versatility. If you need somebody to step in and do something, I think Hobbs can do that in the secondary. And the Niners, like, again, I know a lot of people talking about the linebackers last year and the pass rush and the defensive line. Both of those were crippled by injuries. The secondary was healthy all year. And the secondary was not good. Plain and simple, full stop, was not a good secondary last season at all. Nate Hobbs, I know a lot of people are iffy on the signing, but it's a versatility move. It gives you another option. It helps you that if you do move off of Renardo Green, you have somebody who could step in. If you have, Upton Stout, maybe he gets a nick here, an injury there, you have a guy who could step in. Or if you need somebody who could step in, I guess the Jair Brown rule would be comparable, right? That big safety nickel type guy.
Big nickel.
He can step in there. So I like it on the versatility side. Now, is he going to be is he somebody I want to have play 90% of snaps in a game? Maybe not. But it's a depth signing, and to be good in this league, you need depth. You need some sort of rotational guy, and the Niners feels like they got somebody with Nate Hobbs.
Yeah, it just feels like with Raheem Morris, he wanted somebody who was like that, who can do all those things. The only thing that I find is interesting, Andrew, and I want to ask you about this, is last season it felt like the draft was all over. It had the fingerprints of that draft was Robert Saleh, right? Robert Saleh's got his hands on his draft. He's going to be here forever. But he's gone. Now what? Now you have to pivot again, and you have to, start drafting. Like, I guess the question that I'm asking, Andrew, is you were so desperate to bring in a defensive coordinator who was capable that you gave him the keys to the car. He drafted Alfred Collins, Michael Williams, CJ West, Nick Martin. I don't know anything about Michael Williams other than he's a double-teamed guy. I don't know anything about Alfred Collins other than he punched the ball out from Kyron Williams. I don't know anything about CJ West aside from the fact that he's an Indiana Hoosier and a national champion. They got to give him a ring no matter what, even if he wasn't there. I'm a little bit I'm weirded out by this whole process, right? The process is we're going to choose guys that are going to work for Robert Saleh's defense. And Robert Saleh is going to leave next year and be the Tennessee Titans head coach, and it's going to be an all bald crew. I'm just wondering, Andrew, like, what's the... Now you're looking at this and you have to start to rebuild this defense for somebody else. Like, I get it. This is why, Andrew's going to get to it. I did a mock. I put it on Niners Nation. I doubled up at edge. Yeah. I don't care. I do not care. There is no problem where there is too many edge rushers. It's just this defense now. They were built for whatever Robert Saleh was doing, and now Raheem Morris is here, and you let him put his hands all over this draft. I'm done, Andrew.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure. I wanted to make sure. It sounded like you had another point to make, but yeah. And listen, I like West. I like Collins. I think they're both quality players. But you're absolutely right, because they did put a lot of stock into what Saleh wanted, and Saleh was never going to be a long-term option, and they might run into that a little bit with Raheem Morris again this year, right? But I think it's more likely that you have Morris for at least 2 seasons, maybe even more, because I feel like he's been a head coach twice now in 2 different tenures, so that there's more tape out on him, or quote unquote tape out on him, than Robert Saleh. Saleh was always going to get a second head coaching opportunity. I think the Niners are kind of banking on maybe 2 years with Saleh, but so many openings came out this year, and it was tough to keep them. So letting Raheem Morris get the keys a little bit more than Saleh last year. Listen, man, I feel like I like what Morris has been doing more already. I mean, just with the Osa move, like just that in general feels like a bigger splash than Saleh made last season. It was really a lot of drafted players and all that. So I'm curious to see how it works. I'm excited for Raheem Morris. You already see some changes because ESPN, I don't know if you've seen this, ESPN's depth chart for the 49ers has them at a base 3-4 defense, which I don't think that's going to happen. Nope. But that's what Morris runs typically. But Morris can adjust, and you're still going to have a 4-3. So I'm
good. No, you got to keep going.
My point was good. I was done. He's going to run the 4-3, but he can change things up. Where I feel like with Saleh, it was kind of like what you're going to get with him.
I feel like people are just so focused on that 3-4, 4-3 shit that they don't understand that none of that shit really matters when it comes to matchups and when things Vic Fangio can't come here. He runs 4-3. He's not a 3-4 guy. Who can? You think that Vic Fangio is going to sign with the 49ers and be like, hey man, we're switching this whole shit up? No, there's ways to put your players in position, right? With the way that this league is going with personnel changes and the way that it's like 3 wide receivers, you've got to be able to beat. Like, you can't just be like, this is not the world to be like, we're running 4-6 bear on fucking everybody. Like, come on, man. That 3-4-4-3 shit, that shit is outdated. You need to stop worrying about that. There's different things to run when it comes to the system, and I think that has a lot to do with coverage, right? It has to do much with coverage, and it has to do a lot with running lanes. The 49ers are still going to run wide 9. The 49ers are still going to be that same defense. Raheem Morris just gives you a twist on those things. There's no way the 49ers are going to bring in somebody who is going to change things up. And I think you guys are so overly focused on 3-4-4-3. Does he run that? That shit does not matter anymore in today's league because personnel-wise, you're seeing guys on first down come out with 4 wide receivers. The fuck are you going to do in a 3-4? You're going to put another you're going to have your stand-up linebacker try to cover a slot wide? Like, come on, man. Like, that shit is so outdated and such a foreign idea right now that you're losing the plot and how this game is moving. If you believe that somebody should be in here running something that's completely different than what they've been running to change things, then you're not understanding how the league is moving and how they're moving in a different direction. This is a pass-happy league. 3-4-4-3, who gives a shit? Can you get guys who can cover and sack the quarterback? That's what matters. That's all that matters.
Yep, I like it. Summed up well. Let's flip back over to the offensive side of the ball, maybe run through them a little quicker. Christian Kirk. This one kind of came out of nowhere. We all are. Christian Kirk has 1 year, $6 million deal. A slot receiver. And Jason, maybe I don't know ball as well as you do. I think I know that. I know that for a fact. But this feels like the first time. It feels like the first time the 49ers have had a true slot receiver in a while. Am I mistaken in that? Listen, man, I'm gonna run that joke into the ground this year. It just is what it is.
Look, man. I mean, if we're not going to, then what kind of podcast are we?
Why would you sign Christian Kirk if you can't make the joke? You know,
why would you watch this podcast if you didn't think that we were gonna make C Kirk jokes? C Kirk's on my roster. I know Nick Bosa is very happy about that, but he just doesn't know who's coming because
hey, man, it might have been the piece that got Joey Bosa to come too. Who knows?
Hey, look, Joey Bosa's like, oh, perfect. He's not, whatever. Oh my God, Andrew, you're gonna get us fucking canceled.
For real though. Again, you know ball better than I do.
I wouldn't say that.
But this feels like the first true slot the Niners have had in a long time, right? Am I forgetting somebody? Because they have guys who can play slot, but it's not like they've had a slot exclusive guy.
You disrespecting Richie James?
Well, Richie James feels like a while ago at this point. Richie James is 6 years ago.
Well, the thing is it's like I was saying with you, Andrew, before. Kirk can play slot, but he's not a slot guy.
Yeah.
Ricky can play slot. He's not a slot guy. Mike Evans can play slot. He's a big slot. He's better than Juwan Jennings. This is what makes this signing so interesting. Look, I'm not gonna apologize for my stance before this. I wanted Hollywood Brown.
Yeah.
For 1 year, $7 million. And guess what? The Philadelphia Eagles went ahead and did that. That pissed me the fuck off. Because I feel like Hollywood Brown is the perfect energy of a guy who's going to be downfield and is going to be a slot guy. But Christian Kirk is a slot guy. And he is a guy who has been around the league. Look, here's the thing. People want to point to his injuries and they want to point to his production. That's fine. This league has a higher opinion of Christian Kirk than you've ever had. Just be happy that the 49ers didn't offer him the contract that the Jaguars gave him. Yeah. And then the Texans gave him. Because we were all looking at that.
NFL's still recovering from the contract that the Jaguars gave him.
Yo, Deebo Samuel was a free agent. He's like, fucking Christian Kirk. How much? Yeah, I'm not coming back. And I don't blame him. Because he's done more in 1 year than Christian Kirk has done. But in this offense, where he can go, where Kyle can use him, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. This wide receiver room is far better than it was last year. And dare I say, here we go. This has the chance to be the best wide receiver room in Kyle Shanahan's history. Even with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk in 2023. And Juwan Jennings.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's not because listen, I love Brandon Ayuk as much as the next guy. Like I'm big on Brandon Ayuk. Mike Evans gives you something, and I don't know what it is over Ayuk. But then the thing with Debo, and love Debo here, but he's not a downfield guy. He was always within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage type guy. Niners have multiple guys now that can go beyond the 10-yard point and stretch the field. If Ricky Pearsall can stay healthy, you got that. Christian Kirk, same thing. Mike Evans, obviously. And that's what the Niners have been missing is multiple guys who can stretch the field vertically. The great thing about Deebo Samuel is what he did with the ball in his hands, but he was never a guy that would stretch the field vertically. Jawan Jennings could kind of do it here and there, but he was you need 8 yards, he's going to give you 9 type guy, right? This feels like if you go in, and especially if again, the draft is going to be so weird, but let's pretend like a Lemon drops to 27. I don't think he will, but let's pretend somebody like that does. And now you can go get somebody like him and add to this room. And like, it's such a good receiving room. And then like, we haven't even mentioned the words George Kittle, which, whether or not he plays,
Demarcus Robinson's your fourth receiver.
Demarcus Robinson's still there. We haven't even talked about Christian McCaffrey's ability in the passing game. All of a sudden, like, you have different guys who are good in different areas. And this is going to be, dare I say it, this is going to be the most diverse Niners offense we've seen in a very long time because of everything they got, because there was kind of certain roles that different players had. As I said, Ayuk would be the guy if you need to stretch it deep. If you need that middle yards, you go Jennings. If you needed short yardage and maybe a big play out of it, you got Samuel, all that stuff. But like, it feels like the Niners have multiple receivers now with Kirk, with Evans, with the idea of Ricky Pearsall, because I want Pearsall to work so bad. It's just last year, it makes you a little nervous. You have multiple guys that feel like they can throw a big punch in that receiving room, where the past few years it was really only Ayuk. And last year, I mean, who was the guy throwing the big punch in the passing game last year? Nobody, right? So the Niners went from
McCaffrey,
no receivers last year to 2 or 3 legitimate ones now. So I'm excited.
I think the 49ers are reacting to Seattle. You have big long pause cornerbacks, Mike Evans. You have speedy guys who can play in the slot, Christian Kirk, Ricky Pearsall. The 49ers are reacting 100% to Seattle in their defense. Reek Williams not there, but Witherspoon and Josh Jobe are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They lost Kobe Bryant. That's, look, you can't pay everyone, right? But the 49ers are 3,000% reacting to Seattle. You got big receivers who have wingspan. Cool, Mike Evans. You got fast guys who can play in the slot. Cool, Christian Kirk. You got guys that, want to line up like, a little bit closer. Cool, Ricky Pearsall. The 49ers are in a better spot to compete with Seattle today without a game played. And I still believe Trent Williams is going to be there than they were in that divisional game. And that week 1 game, I don't want to talk about that game anymore because that shit doesn't count. Seattle fans are making fun of us for even bringing up that game. So stop bringing it up. Stop bringing it up. Please. That week 1 team, that's not the team that you saw again in week 18. That's not the team that you saw that rolled to the Super Bowl. So stop bringing week 1 up. Please. I beg you guys. Please. It makes us look very bad. And Seattle fans are making fun of us for it. But yeah, the 49ers are 100% reacting to Seattle.
The last 2 signings the 49ers made, at least in terms of new players, Brett Toth, he comes over. He's a center. He's probably left guard right now. And then Vadarian Lowe, he comes over from New England, 2-year contract. Feels like he's your swing tackle. Any thoughts on those before we move on to the other signings the Niners made?
No, I think Toth is your starting left guard. It's easier to plug in a left guard when you have the best left tackle in the history of the football playing there. So that's why you need Trent Williams again. And he's not stupid. And that's why, again, he's like the best businessman. No, it's just, it's fine. It's fine. You're going to find your center in the draft. Right tackle is locked down. No matter what you think, Cole McKivitz he's better than what you think he is. 100%. Dominic Pooney's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to find out look, if you have a problem with Toth and you sign him for what is it, 1 year? What is it, 7 years? 7 million?
It just says 1 year deal.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find the numbers.
I'm not drafting a left guard. I'm going to sign Joel Bitonio for a 1 year deal.
2.5 million. 2.2 guaranteed.
I'll sign Joel Bitonio for a 1 year, $8 million deal. You play left guard for a year, and we'll revisit this situation again next year in the draft. When I did my mock, look, I'm not John Lynch. I'm not Kyle Shanahan. I'm not the 49ers front organization. I know what the fuck the 49ers needs are, but I refuse to draft a player just because he plays the position we need, right? Oh, draft a lineman in the first round. Anyone? Anyone will do? Just make sure you draft the lineman in the first round. He's going to cook. Ask Kingsley Su'Yamaida how that's going. Right? Like, I don't understand. You have these holes, which are evident, but instead of addressing with the player, you want to address with the position. And I'm supposed to draft guards in the 3rd and 4th round just because they're guards? Absolutely not. That's how bad teams continue to stay bad. So, whatever. But I'm not drafting a guard in this draft unless it's like it jumps right out at me. Because now you're forcing it. And that's when you end up being the Jets. It's when you end up being the Browns. It's when you end up being the 49ers in the first round, who, by the way, there was a number that came out. This shit was gross to look at. The last 3-4 years, I want to say, or 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. 4 years, 5, right? Nick Bosa's been here since what, 2019? The last 5 years, the San Francisco 49ers, and this is not a number that I'm lying about, have a 0% star rate with their first round picks. 0. That includes Brandon Ayuk, that includes Ricky Pearsall, that includes Javon Kinlaw. That is disgusting. So drafting players just because you have a need and they play that position is probably the worst strategy I've ever heard in my life. And I refuse, as a couch arm general manager, to fucking abide by that. Let's go build this football team and let's fill it out the right way.
The last signings for the 49ers were guys they brought back. Jake Tonga signed a 2-year, $8 million deal. Luke Gifford brought back on a 2-year, $5.3 million deal. Special teams ace. Speaking of special teams, he's back. 4-year contract. Eddie Pinheiro. Don't have to worry about mocking a kicker in any drafts. Any thoughts on those? Bringing those guys back? Tom just makes the most sense just because you don't really know when Kittle's going to come back. But any thoughts on those before we move on to the draft?
No, Andrew, PlayStation gave us Madden for free this month. So you can just download it and you can play it. Yeah. In my first game that I played as the 49ers, clearly, against the Seattle Seahawks, Christian McCaffrey got hurt in the second play. Mm-hmm. Broken ankle, gone for the rest of the season. Don Pooney got hurt 4 plays later. Juwan Jennings dropped almost every single contested catch pass that I threw to him. Okay. And Jake Moody shanked 2 kicks.
Yeah.
Who said that game's unrealistic?
It's very realistic game.
I was like, man, this game is like in the game. Like this is real. Like I feel
dare I say like EA Sports, it is in the game.
It is in the game. But it's crazy the 49ers got their kicker and their long snapper done before they got Trent Williams done. But hey, I'm not in the front office and I don't make those decisions. But yeah, Madden's realistic as hell, man. Like really realistic, man. Like I threw a pass to Juwan Jennings and he's open and he drops it. And I just looked and I was just like, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, Jason, let's move on to the draft. We're about a month away from the draft. I'm going to get rid of the background here so I could throw this up. This is a mock draft that Jason Aponte put out yesterday. The 49ers have 6 picks, none after the 4th round. Jason, I'm going to let you – I think you're a little further in your draft process than I am right now. So I'm going to let you kind of drive here, and I'll give you my thoughts.
Look, smart people. Look, smarty pants that is watching this. Look, draft king that is watching this, I'm aware that Emmanuel McNeil Warren is not going to be there at 27. I'm aware. Okay? But what am I supposed to do when the draft board puts him there? Am I supposed to pass on him because he's not supposed to be there? Absolutely not. ENW, come on down. You are the new San Francisco 49er free safety. You're welcome. We fixed this shit. Malik Mustafa, start looking for a job, bud. Start looking for a job. Okay? There you go. Okay. Joshua Josephs. In the second round, edge guy, he needs to put on a little bit more weight. I do think that he is a guy that they can really, really use. I think this edge class is very deep. And I think there's a lot of people that you can go to and that you can sign or draft that'll be helpful. So I like Joshua Josephs right there from Tennessee. I think he's going to be fine. He just needs to add a little bit more in his body. Now, the third pick was really interesting because we need to address wide receiver. And you said it, Andrew. Mekhi Lemon, you're talking about like guys that are there. I'm not big on KC Concepcion. And by the way, Omar Cooper Jr. was not on the board at 27. So I would have had to make that choice. And I want Omar Cooper Jr. to be a 49er worse than I want anybody. But Jacoby Lane I was stuck between him and CJ Daniels from Miami. I think CJ Daniels is one of the more polished route runners in the draft. I think he's somebody who is going to be a very, very, very good wide receiver in the NFL. I chased the size, the speed, the red zone prowess. Like Jacoby Lane is the perfect guy to draft. You have Mike Evans this year. Mike Evans leaves. Jacoby Lane is Mike Evans now. And I think that's the way I was thinking about it. Jude Bowery. I know y'all like this one. You know why? But the problem is this is my most boom or bust pick. Jude Bowery's spectrum is the best tackle in this draft and somebody who's going to be an all-pro year after year after year after year and a Trent Williams replacement. But his floor is non-existent. Non-existent. Like I'm talking about non-existent, Andrew. His spectrum and like he can either be the best or the worst. So this was, around 4 the time where I took a chance. And, PFF gave me an A-. Max Lewin, I think he has a little Trey Hendrickson in his vibe. Seriously. If you watched Iowa, he was in the backfield 45% of the time. He just needs to put more on his frame, get a little bit stronger, put more on his body, and he's good. Jaeger Burton, with my last pick, I'm trying to draft the center of the future. Jake Brendel's not going to play forever, right? And the 49ers
if Kyle Shanahan has a say, he might.
Look, that's why I said right. That's why I said right. Like I'm not like I'm joking. But I see Stovey. I like Coogan from Indiana better in the later rounds. He just wasn't there. Like there was nothing I could do, and I do too. I think the 49ers' whole draft strategy should be to draft nothing but fucking Hoosiers because they're winners. Why wouldn't you want to draft every single player who was from a national championship team? But Jaeger Burton, I feel like I think that was the move, like right there. Look, again, PFF gave me a B+. They gave me, the worst grade that they gave me was Jacoby Lane. It's only because I reached a little bit, but I believe in Jacoby Lane a little bit more than I do to CJ Daniels. I feel like if this was the 49ers draft, I'd do backflips.
What does Emmanuel McNeil Warren offer that the 49ers safeties do not offer right now?
A free safety who can play center field and can actually cover and get downfield. That's what Malik is supposed to be. He's supposed to be a guy who can, cover on the back end, get downfield fast. He's just not. And he makes too many mistakes with his mind about where he's supposed to be, right? Like y'all are yelling at Jair Brown because you see the back of his jersey. It's a Malik Mustafa problem that he's like coming down. Like that's not his position. ENW really puts them in a spot where they have a free safety who can roam around, be a little bit closer, play that star role a little bit more for Raheem Morris. I think he could be the guy that fixes the safety position.
The one question I have, and this might not be the greatest of questions. There's a name out there that I don't think is going to get to 27. But Daniel Jeremiah seems to think with 2 of his last 3 mock drafts, he's falling to 27. And that's Kenyon Sadiq. out of Oregon, the tight end.
He's not going to make it to 27.
Listen, I don't think he is either, but Daniel Jeremiah, much smarter than me. He keeps saying he will. What do you think about that idea?
I love it. I mean, you can't pass. Look, I don't like throwing the term around because they've thrown it around for Kyle Pitts and things like that. And it only took Kyle Pitts 6 years to break out.
Hey, man.
Never wrong, just early. Oh, dear God, man. In this offense, it would just be incredible, especially those first few weeks when Kittle's not there. But they would never change. They would never change that offense to like throwing the ball to 2 tight ends. It's just not part of their deal.
I don't think he's gonna be there, but Daniel Jeremiah just keeps mocking him there, and it's interesting to me. What is Joshua Joseph's offer that the Niners haven't seen with pass rushers they've drafted in recent years? They've kind of thrown a lot of darts at the board the past couple of years. None of them are really stuck. They're hoping Michael Williams is going to be that guy. What is Joseph's offer that the 49ers need?
He offers exactly what they completely look for, Andrew. Wingspan. The guy's arms are fucking long as day goes long, and he looks like a fucking power forward, like wingspan. The 49ers have a type, and he's one of them. So he puts on a little bit of weight, but he has the wingspan that can't be taught, that can't be added on. So I think that's what I was thinking when I was looking at this, and I saw him there in the second round at 58, and they'll use him. Again, look, the idea is to acquire so many edges that you don't need to play Mike Kell at edge.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to, you just, like, having Mike Kell at DT, Godspeed to you. Like, having him, like, clearly play DT, it's Godspeed to you. Because now you've got an edge rusher on the other side, and the 49ers need to keep applying that pressure. It can't just be Bosa and the band. Like, it's got to be guys. So that's what I was thinking. I just think, look, wingspan. They love that shit. I think that's exactly why him.
And then to follow that up with your round 4 selection of Max Lulin, what does Lulin add? Because if the Niners do go Joshua Josephs, you have Michael Williams, you have Nick Bosa, you maybe have another Bosa, which maybe that changes your draft pick if they get him. But what does Lulin throw in? Let's forget Joey Bosa exists. Let's just say it's Michael, it's Nick Bosa, it's Joshua Josephs. Where does Lulin fit in with all that?
I think that there's a lot of Trey Hendrickson to his game, not because he's white. Like, I don't want you to think that like I'm throwing that out there or whatever. Like, he's not just but Nick Bosa plays one side of the field. Keon White's a player who can play in and out. Michael can play in and out. If you have like dedicated edges that you can go over and over and keep rushing the passer, and it's the fourth quarter, and you're like, their offensive line's wearing down because they've been on the field the entire time. Why are they still able to get pressure? That's why Seattle's so successful. Like, they swear that it's anything about like, the speed and all that stuff and everything that they've got on the back end is great. But being able to continuously rush the passer, continuously create pressure, even in the fourth quarter, there's never been a time ever in the world that someone has ever said you have too many edge rushers, you have too many pass rushers, you're like, no, never. So if they play 10, 15 snaps, they play 20, 25 snaps, whatever it is, you are constantly rushing the passer. The 49ers, look, Andrew, you just said it. The 49ers had less sacks than Myles Garrett. How on earth are they going to not look at this draft and try to get guys that can actually rush the passer? And if you think the guys in that building are going to, then you know what, Raheem Morris and all of them, you've got a bigger problem than I thought.
I don't think fuck, marry, kill works here. So let's do start, sit, bench, and just through the draft process. Let's not say right now. Jacoby Lane, Jacob Cowing, Jordan Watkins, and through the draft process, obviously not necessarily Cowing. I guess you can go Cowing and Watkins is now, but if the Niners go Jacoby Lane, it's another guy they draft in the middle rounds. Cowing, Watkins here. How do you kind of discombobulate that mess?
Start Lane, bench Cowing, cut Watkins. I just don't think Watkins is good. And again, I'll eat crow. But you had an entire season of practice and to try to get on the field, man, and they ran to Malik Turner when your chance was there to be there as a receiver. It's not good, man. That is not good. You talk about Kyle's doghouse, and Dante Pettis wasn't in the doghouse in 2018. He was nasty. Brandon Ayuk wasn't in the doghouse in 2020. He was nasty. They got into the doghouse, eventually. You can't just step in and be in the doghouse. Jordan Watkins is giving me big Danny Gray vibes. Huge Danny Gray vibes. Fast, drafted, doesn't matter, never plays. And I think that's exactly where we're going. I don't know, man. I just don't think Jordan Watkins is good at football. I really do not think he's good at football. It's done, man. He's the one that's going to get cut.
Perfect, Jason. I like it. I like the mock draft. I'm sure you'll be throwing more mock drafts out there. I'll probably.
No, this is it. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is perfect.
Nailed it. We're done.
You can't do any better than that. No.
Nailed it. I like it, Jason. Have confidence. Jason, we're at an hour and whatever minutes. We appreciate each and every one of you who are still with us. But I do have one more question. We usually end the show during season. We have predictions. Buddy, Wednesday. Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
The New York Yankees take on the San Francisco Giants. Baseball season is starting. And hey, I'm excited because Netflix, it's going to be interesting. Did you see who they announced?
Barry Bonds is going to be on there, man. Oh my God.
Other name though they announced today?
Mm-mm.
Jameis Winston is going to be on the broadcast. And
I'm locked in.
People are saying, like, why is Jameis there? Why is Jameis? Jameis was a very good baseball player. Florida State. If you look it up, I think there's a play where Carlos Correa is getting a hit off of, I think it's Max Fried, and Jameis Winston's rounding the bases.
What is it? Something that you never would have been able to say earlier, like you never would have thought.
But Jason, it's our two teams. It's Netflix, the first ever game on Netflix. It's opening day. Who is the Yankees opening day starter? Have they announced that yet?
Max Fried.
Look at that, just throwing names out there. That works. It's gonna be Logan Webb versus Max Fried. Jason, how you feeling about the Yankees this year?
Oh man, playoff team that won't get it done. I don't know, man. The Yankees they're my reason to like day drink during the summer.
Good,
yeah, when there's nothing, but I'm not excited, man. They looked at that team last year that couldn't hit in the playoffs against the Toronto Blue Jays, and they were like, let's run it back. And the only reason that they feel like they're gonna run it back is because they're like, oh, Cole's going to pitch this year, and he didn't pitch last year, and Schlitter's a dog. Schlitter is a dog, though, by the way. Schlitter's a dog, and, Rodon and Fried, that's 4. He'll won Rookie of the Year. He'll be the best laid plans of mice and men. The Dodgers are going to win the World Series again, and you know what? We'll just lock baseball up because they need to just stop doing whatever. But I will say this. I'm very disappointed that I won't be there because I was kind of promising my father that we'd be out there because it's, 1, the earliest opening day game in MLB history. 2, the Yankees against the Giants, and in San Francisco, obviously there's a lot of history. My father's a big Willie Mays fan. He has the, the catch, autographed and all that stuff. He's a big baseball historian. Unfortunately, I just won't be out there just because of, health reasons for both of us, actually. But, man, I'm really excited about that game. You know what? One thing I want to say too, and Jacob, you have 27 titles to drown. How old do you think I am? Do you think I give a fuck what happened in 1903 when Babe Ruth won? I really don't care.
I remember that very well.
Yeah, me too. I want to make this very clear. The San Francisco 49ers and like the Yankees, if you won a title before I was born, I do not care. And it's not that I don't care because it's part of the history, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, what the fuck does that do for me? What if I'm in a bar arguing with a guy who's a New York Giants fan? He has 2 recent Super Bowls in his lifetime. And I'm like, yeah, we won this shit in 1981. And he has no idea what I'm talking about. And he wasn't born and I wasn't either. Who cares? Anyway, one other thing I want to say is, RIP to Chuck Norris, true. Apparently Chuck Norris told Death that you're coming with me. I had to get that joke in. I don't know, man. Like, I'm really excited. I just think that, here it is. I'm having a tougher and tougher time defending Aaron Judge.
Well, Baseball Classic was rough for him.
Look, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. The guy has the most home runs in a win or go home playoff game in MLB history. You can look that up. That's an absolute fact. Absolute fact. And yet, anytime it feels like you need something, I'm not as excited. I'd rather see Giancarlo Stanton at the plate, in certain spots. Yo, G said he can't even fucking open up a bag of chips. He's fucking hitting dongs off the fucking scoreboard. Like, why are you lying to everybody? But yeah, look, Aaron Judge is the greatest right-handed hitter in the history of baseball. I'm not here to debate that with anybody. But goddamn, man, that clutch shit is like, you're not beating the allegations anytime soon, especially after what happened in that World Baseball Classic.
I was hoping Italy would make the run, man. It didn't happen. Italy was so fun.
They beat Puerto Rico.
They beat Puerto Rico. That was very I was very happy about that.
I was not.
My Italian Americans got to make sure we add the American portion of that because
I blame
Italians.
I blame the New York Mets. I blame the New York Mets, and I blame whatever fucking team Carlos Correa plays for, the Minnesota Twins. Bad Bunny was gonna pay.
No, Houston.
Whatever. Bad Bunny was gonna pay for them to go, and y'all said no. But the Mets let Juan Soto go. That's some bullshit. I want this investigated. I'm sorry.
Open the investigation. You nervous about Devers?
Oh, yes. But the good news is Cole won't pitch.
I love Raffy Devers, man. So
as
good.
long as Cole's not pitching.
The Giants' offense is going to be so good this year. The pitching staff, boy, oh boy.
Reyes.
It's Logan Webb, it's Robbie Ray, and it's pray for a lot of rain because after that, it's not great.
Reyes,
not
man.
Great.
It's crazy.
Is gonna be interesting.
It's crazy how baseball has changed and how like a guy like Reyes can win like batting title after batting title and no one cares because it's just not valuable anymore.
Did you see the stat that in the World Baseball Classic, he hits a home run once every 7 at-bats, and in Major League Baseball, he hits a home run once every 90 at-bats?
With Reyes, I just feel like with Reyes, he'd rather ground out than strike out. Yeah. So like it's like I'd rather, and you know what? It's not a bad strategy. Put the ball in play, make them make a play on you. But that's why that batting title shit doesn't matter anymore because he just doesn't. It's not like he's spraying the ball all over the place. He's just he's a contact guy. And he'd rather ground out than strike out, which is not a bad thing. If you're gonna make it out, but at least make them make a play.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited, Jason. Baseball's back. Giants, Yankees.
I am too.
Opening day,
real quick, can I make an announcement? If you're a shorty who is watching this and would like to sponsor Jason Aponte watching the New York Yankees, day one, please send over your Netflix account. I won't change your household. I will just watch it for the game and I will send it right back. I promise you I won't even make a profile or anything like that. So if you are a shorty who is interested in the Sprint Right Option podcast at Jason Aponte in any way, and you want Jason Aponte to be happy and watch the San Francisco Giants play the New York Yankees on Netflix with Barry Bonds calling the game and all those people, please just send over your credentials and I will send you back a ham sandwich on a Tuesday. I promise you.
On a Tuesday specifically. But hey, I like this new tradition that's being created of the Giants and Yankees opening the seasons.
Hell yeah.
2 times in 4 years now?
Yeah. And it was right after the Aaron Judge debacle, the Arson Judge debacle.
And he hit a home run in his first at bat. Which was 100% going to happen the whole time.
I want to say one more thing, and I want you to push back on this if you think that I'm tripping, because I've seen it too much online. And I'm an Aaron Judge defender because, look, I'm a 49ers analyst. Most of my people that follow me are San Francisco Giants fans and Golden State Warriors fans. Some of them like the Lakers, some of them like the Kings, some of them like other teams, fine. But for the most part, it's Giants fans. I want to say this to Giants fans. You laughing at the fact that Aaron Judge isn't clutch and we dodged the bullet, you would give your fucking right arm right now to have Aaron Judge as a San Francisco Giant. So stop fucking lying. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to me. And I'd rather you can lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. Aaron Judge, you cried and cried and cried when he didn't sign with you. And now you're like, we dodged the bullet. Fuck
trade everything
off. All of you would kill anybody that you know to have Aaron Judge as a fucking San Francisco Giant. And if you say no, you're a liar and you're coping. I have no argument for that. And I don't want to talk to any people. Don't lie. I'm very happy. I don't care. If Aaron Judge is here for 10 more years and we don't win a championship, but he hits 700 home runs and ends up in the fucking Hall of Fame and ends up as the greatest Yankee, I'm fine. So don't lie to me. You San Francisco Giant fans that are like, oh, ha, we dodged the bullet. You were crying when he didn't sign with you. You absolutely would kill anybody to have Aaron Judge there. And if you say no, you're a fucking liar. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a fucking liar.
I would trade anybody on the Giants except for Webb and Devers for Judge. But that's because I like Webb and Devers.
Oh, God, I'd take Devers. Hit him with that porch.
I love Devers so much, man. Devers is so sick, dude.
I'm so glad he's gone.
The best. Yeah. No, you don't have to think about him anymore. And I'll still never forget the day the Giants traded for him. That was they were playing the Dodgers on ESPN. I was like, okay, big game. The trade came out maybe 10 minutes before first pitch. Did not care about that game anymore. I was like, Devers is coming. Devers is coming. So
I was so happy. Oh my God. Like you said, you're like, oh, because Devers was a Yankee killer, but he's a Garrett Cole killer. Like to the point that Garrett Cole is like send him four. Like I don't want to pitch to him anymore. But Garrett Cole's not going to pitch, so I feel better about it. But yeah, thank God that he's fucking gone. That demon is gone. I'm glad that the Red Sox were that dumb.
Yeah. Well, because
Alex Bregman and now Bregman doesn't play for them anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, 3 of the 4 players the Giants traded to the Red Sox are no longer in the Red Sox organization.
Perfect.
And that trade was less than a year ago. Final thing. Do you have any Afro Man thoughts? Because that's been my favorite thing. I love Afro Man.
Listen, man, this has been a time for like pop culture, like right now, right? Yeah. Like that's a pop culture thing. Yeah. I'm so happy that he won because those cops are so soft. The one guy's like, oh, when Afro Man made that song, my wife didn't like me anymore. Your wife didn't like you before Afro Man ever made that song. She didn't like you at all. You know why? Because you're a fucking cornball. I just love that people complain. Like, my wife doesn't like me anymore because Afro Man a song. Your wife never liked you, you fucking loser. But yeah, it's just hilarious that the Afro Man thing. Like, and this man took the trolling. We think 50 Cent is the master troll. Man. The man has put himself in a spot where 50 Cent is not even the top troll anymore. Bro, this man made a music video for all of these songs off that album. And he literally was putting it out while this trial was going on. Bro, like the trolling is insane. And you know what's funny? Afro Man isn't somebody who is like, he's not clean because, he slapped a woman on stage. I don't know if you guys knew that or whatever. Like like a woman came on stage and he turned and just slapped the shit out of her. I was just like, bro, that was like, it was completely uncalled for. Y'all swear that he's just like the because I got high guy. So he's not like, perfect. But goddamn, that shit was hilarious to watch those cops cry and to lose that shit because even the court was like, yo, are y'all fucking dumb? My wife doesn't like me anymore because Afro Man made a song. First of all, in the big year of 2026, why is your wife tuning into an Afro Man song? And the fact that she never liked you at all, man. She been liked. Oh boy, I'm glad you brought this up because it was hilarious.
It's been lemon pound cake has been in my head for weeks or for a couple days now. Very very fun story and always a good time to talk Afro Man.
One more thing. This too from Don't Be Dumb is coming very soon. You better make sure you go get your vinyl. A$AP Rocky has announced a tour. And this too will be coming out very, very, very soon. So you will be getting Don't Be Dumb Part 2 from A$AP Rocky. Andrew Pasquini. I know you're a big A$AP fan.
I've spent
we need to start
vinyls lately.
We need to start bullying the internet into an A$AP Rocky and Tyler album.
Yeah.
I mean,
we have a couple songs here and there, but
no, I mean, they're a great combo. Like, like they should work or whatever. But
I think Tyler said that they were supposed to work on an album together.
No, the album was supposed to be done. Like, the album was supposed to be done before Don't Be Dumb. Like, listen, like, I don't listen to like the only person who consistently drops is Tyler. Tyler will drop that shit whenever he wants, and he dropped 2 in a year. And then ASAP is just like he's whatever, and and then the same thing with Rihanna, right? Like they feel like people that are just so out of the way that they're just like I don't care about like if we put out albums or anything like that. Like we're too big or anything like that. One more thing, Andrew, because I just haven't seen you in a while. Well, 2 more things.
Missed you.
Jay-Z recently just announced 2 shows at Yankee Stadium, one for Reasonable Doubt and one for The Blueprint. I just want to make this very clear. With the way that I see the internet talking about Jay-Z and how much they hate him, I better be able to get fucking tickets pretty easily.
Yeah.
I better be able to get tickets. I better be able to get tickets very easily when they drop on the 23rd. Because the way that you motherfuckers talk about Jay-Z makes it seem like he's fucking LaRussell, who's that cornball from the Bay Area. Sorry, he's
unbelievable
a
video.
Yeah.
Listen,
y'all make Jay-Z sound like LaRussell.
That video was already so bad, but the fact he opened it with my producer said not to drop
my engineer.
It. Well, maybe there's a reason he said not to drop it.
Look, I don't know shit about him. I don't know about his music. Anytime I've seen him, I'm like, this dude is corny. Anytime I've ever seen him, anytime in a picture, in a video, I'm like, this dude's corny. And all that, and then you pissed everybody off because you can't say shit bad about Lil Wayne. I'll tell you this, I don't care for Lil Wayne. I really don't give a shit. I'll never go to a Lil Wayne show in my life. I don't care. Trust me, I don't care. I can tell you that somebody has contributed to hip hop and that they're very important, and I can also tell you I don't care. Same thing with J. Cole. That's why J. Cole's not in the big 3 anymore. But one more thing, Andrew. We said the Jay-Z thing. Damn it, I lost it. Oh, I got Madden. You got Madden.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. I know there's a way to stream through your PlayStation. You don't need
through YouTube.
Yeah, you could literally there's a thing in your PlayStation that like allows you to stream to RAM. You don't need any extra.
I can play remotely. I can play remotely too because I have my screen here that I watch the film on, and I have my laptop that's here or whatever. So like I can sit here and we can stream it. Yeah, 100%. Like I'd love to do it here on YouTube. Like to have again, it'll just be a different way to interact with people. Watch how little we know about Madden because oh my god, bro, all that pre-snap shit. Drop down your safety to press coverage and drop your. I'm like, bro, what happened to fucking spotlight the receiver and just show blitz? Like that shit is so complicated that I'm pressing buttons for 30 seconds before the play call goes off because I'm trying to like fucking move everybody around. Like it's hard.
Football games are hard now, man. College football's insane. Madden is tough. I play it too much. I play video games too much as a 33-year-old man. But
nice.
Hey, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Did you buy Crimson Desert?
What's Crimson Desert?
I don't know. Some fucking game that everybody's going nuts over. Look,
brother, I play Fortnite and MLB The Show.
Andrew, did you buy the new one?
I bought the new one.
All right. Who's on the cover of that?
I think Aaron Judge, I believe. Yeah.
One more thing that I found out that was a funny stat. Shohei Ohtani is the #1 hitter in baseball, and Aaron Judge is 2. Did you know this? The gap between slugging percentage and Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani is bigger than the gap between Shohei Ohtani and George Springer. Look, all right. So why I was asking that is this. I've been home. Clearly, because I'm injured. I'm getting much better, by the way. I was, look, I went and got a haircut. I'm walking, you know what I'm saying? We're moving. We'll be back up, and running, in time to be in Dykeman, doing bachata and fucking listening to Bad Bunny. No problem. I've been home. So I signed up for PlayStation Plus Essentials because I never turned on my PlayStation. Dude, I downloaded Dead Space and Silent Hill 2 and the old school. Yeah, the old school Resident Evil, and then they gave us Madden. Like it's well worth it right now, honestly. So I'm pretty happy about that.
My big music announcement, Jason. You know how big this is to me. I'm seeing Gorillaz.
Baby.
In Oakland. I'm looking forward to that. Their new album.
Baby.
V good.
It's so good.
It's V good. I liked it. I think it's one of their better. The Moon Cave. I think you should check that song out. The Moon Cave.
I'm happy for you, man. I know you're a big fan. I know you're happy, man.
I got the vinyl. I got the vinyl, like everything. I buy too much, dude. I didn't have a vinyl a year ago, and now I have 29.
You're becoming
I
that
make
meme
bad.
that
I make bad financial decisions.
You're becoming that meme that I sent you.
Yeah.
If,
I text you every time I buy a new vinyl.
Yeah, no, but you're that meme. If you go over to a man's house and he has a bunch of vinyls and a record player, he's for the streets. Andrew Pasquini, you're just evolving into that guy, man. It really is, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to play you. You're gonna start to get to a point, Andrew, where you're gonna be like, I want to play you my favorite jazz record, and you're gonna fucking drop it on a vinyl, and bro.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm telling women I'm one of the 5 people that uses Tidal as a streaming service, and we can listen to the music on top of my TV.
Oh man.
Andrew, it's so good to see you, man.
Is that what your screenshots are? Is Tidal?
Tidal. I'm the only person. Me, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and 3 other people use Tidal. And the reason that I use Tidal is because, one, I was one of the first adopters to it when it first came out. But by the way, I was such an early adopter that it was Beats Music, Beats by Dre Music.
Oh, I remember
before.
That.
Yeah. So they used to upscale the music to make it better sounding. That's what Tidal was. So I stuck with Tidal, and I'm sticking with Tidal. Like, what the fuck? They take my money every single month. It's like anytime I feel like, I have like $15 left for the rest of the week. How am I gonna feed myself? And I look, and it'll be like App Store, Tidal $15. I'll be like, what? I can eat vibes and music now.
I like it. That's all you need. Jason, we're in an hour and a half.
I know you got to get out of here. I
got a softball game. I got to.
I'm just happy to see you, man. I'm just happy to see you.
I'm excited. Let's talk more. I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
Jason Aponte, as always.
Let's fucking go Niners. Good to see you guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. We can go to the park, ask the dog.
Welcome, everybody.
We are live.
My name is Jason Aponte.
I am Andrew Pasquini.
We're working. That's it. We're working over here. That's it.